I believe the importance of radio as a traditional marketing tool is for companies to rear in a lot of profits. I particularly enjoy listening to the radio, especially in the morning when I'm taking my taxi on my way to work. I like the Fresh FM show or the Good Morning show. I'm not sure from which channel it is, but they really engage in meaningful discussions, and at the same time, that makes the radio or the importance of radio importance is that it's informative. So it gives people information early in the morning, and then that way people are more encouraged to search up on the internet more about what story was being covered, what fun facts they will be giving that morning, and that kind of stuff. So listening to the radio is a pretty awesome thing, and I do it every day.
The importance of listening to the radio, personally for me, is it educates you, it teaches you a lot about life issues, things that are currently happening in our generation. So yeah, I consider it to be one of the important technological things that we can listen to.
Most of the time, it's the primary medium of information, especially for people who don't have access to television and that kind of stuff. A lot of them are maybe coerced or forced to listen to the radio because of their parents or grandparents who would like them to listen on their behalf and say, no, listen, we want to know when is the next date for our pension collection, or where can we go for our identification cards, especially like in very rural areas and that kind of stuff. So it's important for them also to keep their grandparents and families informed about certain events which they would not have known otherwise if they don't have access to the television, like I said, or they don't read newspapers. So the radio really is encouraged that young people do tune in and listen to the radio as often as they can.
I listen to the radio quite every night, if I may put it that way. Yeah, it's interesting. I listen to Desert Radio.
Our generation isn't actually a generation that listens to radio a lot, but I grew up in a household with my grandmother, and I remember in grade 1 or 2 she would have the radio on and I would listen to these children programs, and that's a very nice memory that I have with her. And as I grew up and over the holidays, we would listen to church on the radio early in the morning, and when you drive you listen to the radio, and that's not something I do a lot, listening to radio, but when I do, it's actually quite interesting. World Radio Day is important because we don't know, especially the youth, we don't listen to a lot of radio. It's not something that's very important to us, but the more we learn about it, the more we hear about it, the more we will want to know about it, and we might just grow a love for listening to radio. I think you guys can maybe go to schools, you can talk to the youth, tell them what actually happens on radio, because we don't even listen to it, but we have this general opinion of what it will be, that it isn't for us. And there is actually some things, or there are programs that are for our youth that we can listen to and enjoy.